It's time for Plainfield Quakers basketball on AudioSportsOnline.com. Tonight's game is brought to you by Wings Etc., Prestwick Pet Sitters, State Farm Agent Jeremiah P. Whip, Raymond's Alignment Service, and J.P. Brenz and Caliber Home Loans. Red Pride Basketball is an AudioSportsOnline.com production. Now let's go courtside for tonight's game. The Plainfield Quakers return to the Red Pride Gymnasium after splitting a pair of games at the Hendricks County Tournament last week at Avon High School. Plainfield fell to eventual champion Brownsburg in the opener of the tournament by the score of 65-39, but they came back to beat the host Avon Orioles by the score of 49-36 on the final day of the tournament. Quakers got a double-double out of junior forward Max Kurkowski. He had 26 points and 11 rebounds for Plainfield against Avon. And it was Nathan Mills, the sophomore forward, one rebound shy of a double-double. He had 14 points and 9 boards for Plainfield. Tonight, the Quakers return to the Red Pride Gymnasium. They'll take on the Knights of Northview. We'll have all the action for you coming up next. This is Red Pride Basketball on AudioSportsOnline.com. Whether you're looking to buy a new home or need to refinance an existing mortgage, J.P. Brenz and Caliper Home Loans can help you with all your mortgage financing needs, including conventional, FHA, VA, and USDA loans. Contact J.P. today at 550-2116. That's J.P. Brenz and Caliper Home Loans. Welcome back to Plainfield High School. Alongside Christopher Worley, I'm Brian Scott. Plainfield Quakers enter tonight's contest with the Northview Knights with a record of 3-8. They come off of a victory against Avon last Saturday in the Hendricks County Tournament. As I just mentioned, they defeated Avon by the score 49-36. Good performances from both Max Kurkowski and Nathan Mills. Also, some good help from Reese Crawford as well in that contest. And tonight, you're going to see if they can keep that streak going as they prepare for a Mid-State Conference game coming up next Friday against Mooresville. And we'll have that game for you right here on Audio Sports Online. Alongside Christopher Worley, like I said, I'm Brian Scott. Chris, we're looking for the Red Pride to bounce back tonight, continue that momentum they had coming off of the Avon victory, and see if they can get past the Northview team that is a very, very young team, only a couple of seniors on their roster. They're going to rely on several juniors and a few sophomores. We don't know a whole lot about Northview, but right now it's a team that has a couple of big men, but the Quakers coming off of that win against Avon, especially the performance from Max Kurkowski, who came in and did a lot of his damage on the inside.
Yeah, good game there for Max in that. Brought his scoring up, average over 10 points. He's at 10.9 right now. So that was a nice win. You know, they had that real tough Wednesday matchup in the county tournament against Brownsburg, of course, the Hendricks County champs. So it was nice for the boys to come back and get a win against Avon. Of course, Avon a little depleted, missing Brandon Peters, but still it was a nice win for Coach Weaver and the boys. And, Brian, I see this as really a big game. Okay, yes, it's against 3A Northville. This is a game Plainfield should win, and I think it's a game they must win because next week they have a very tough Mooresville squad in here who is 8-2. Mooresville always tough. And then they're on the road to end this month at Decatur Central and at Terre Haute South. So the boys need to play a good game here tonight and get a W here.
Plainfield comes into this game with Nathan Mills, their leading scorer, at a little over 15 points per game. He also is the team leader in shots blocked. The Quakers actually block almost 4 shots, a little over 4 shots per game, but Nathan has 3 of those per game himself. Max Kurkowski, their leading rebounder, at over 7 rebounds per game as well. So for the Quakers, has been the story all season long. It's been a pretty simple story at that. Keep the turnovers down. Don't give up empty possessions, and generally they've been able to run their offense rather efficiently. Tonight we're going to see another starting lineup by head coach Andy Weaver as he's going to, again, look for some stability, especially out of the point guard position. We'll see Mark Dahm move over to the point, and we'll see Bryson Ellis get the start at the shooting guard position tonight. They will be joined, of course, by Max Kurkowski, Nathan Mills, and Connor Brenz. The front line, that's been the stability for the Quakers so far here this season. But it's been the point play that's been the toughest part for the Quakers to overcome, the toughest position to overcome. They've seen a lot of turnovers. That's led to empty possessions, and that's really put the Quakers behind the 8 ball much of this season. Northview comes in with a record of 3-8. They lost to Bloomington North last week by the score of 53-42. Their head coach is Clint Weddle. He's 24-33 in his 3rd year at the school. Northview averages about 50 points per game, but they give up almost 57 points per game. Meanwhile, Plainfield also with a 3-8 record is Coach Andy Weaver, 13-40 in his 3rd year at Plainfield. 239 and 216 in his 21st season overall. Plainfield averages almost 51 points per game, but they do, however, give up a little over 59 points per game. We'll come back. Starting lineups in the opening tip. This is Red Pride Basketball on Audio Sports Online.
We all have a guy, but who's your guy? Jeremiah P. Whip State Farm Agency in Plainfield next to Popeye's Chicken is a proud supporter of Plainfield basketball. Jeremiah specializes in life insurance and retirement maximization. Call 839-3322 or go to who'syourguy.net to contact Jeremiah today. That's Jeremiah P. Whip State Farm Agency in Plainfield. Prestwick Pet Sitters and owner Dawn Crawford is a proud sponsor of the Plainfield Quakers basketball team. Prestwick Pet Sitters has been in business for over 20 years, servicing Plainfield, Avon, and Danville, specializing in home pet care for all types of pets, from Angora rabbits to zebrafish and all the cats and dogs in between. Visit PrestwickPetSitters.com or call 745-9900 to learn more or schedule an appointment before your next trip. That's PrestwickPetSitters.com. We'd like to thank Raymond's Alignment Service in Plainfield for being a proud sponsor of Plainfield Quaker basketball. Raymond's Alignment Service is Plainfield's complete auto and truck repair center since 1995. You can visit them at 3828 Clarks Creek Road in Plainfield or give them a call at 317-838-7112. That's Raymond's Alignment Service in Plainfield.
Welcome back to the Red Pride Gymnasium. Alongside Christopher Worley, I'm Brian Scott, getting ready for the tip-off between Plainfield and Northview. Let's give you our starting lineups. First, for the visiting Northview Knights, their head coach is Clint Weddle. They'll start a 3-guard lineup. Starting at a guard is a 6'1 junior, Quentin Hayes. At the other guard, a 6-foot sophomore, Dylan Hyatt. The third guard is a 5'11 sophomore, Kalen Shane. At forward is a 6'5 junior, Hunter Reagan. And at center is a 6'8 sophomore, Drew Lumsden. So once again, the backcourt has Hayes, Hyatt, and Shane. The front court, Reagan and Lumsden. That's the starting 5 for the Northview Knights. Starting 5 for the Plainfield Quakers, head coached by Andy Weaver. Again, a little bit of a change up at the point guard position. Starting at point guard is a 5'11 senior, Mark Daum II. At shooting guard, a 6'1 junior, Bryson Ellis. Max Krakowski will be at 1'4 to 6'6 junior. The other forward is a 6'5 sophomore, Nathan Mills. And at center, a 6'5 sophomore, Connor Bren. So once again, the backcourt, Daum and Ellis. The front court, Krakowski, Mills, and Bren. So the starting 5 for the Plainfield Quakers. The Quakers in the home whites with the red numerals and black trim. Northview is in their road blacks with the white numerals. So glad you could join us for Plainfield Quaker basketball here on Audio Sports Online. We hope you enjoy tonight's matchup. And Chris, we've seen Coach Weaver. He's gone through a few point guards tonight. Mark Daum's going to get the start at the point.
Well, Mark is a senior. He's done a few things, got some assists. Doesn't score much, just about a point a game, but they're going to rely on his senior leadership and experience here to try and get the job done. Good to see, the other usual starters in, along with Mr. Ellis. I think Mr. Ellis, he's a 5th leading scorer, just over 4.2, great free throw shooter. So guard play, of course, going to be important. And, of course, always with this Plainfield squad, it's Max and Nathan on the inside.
Mills and Lumsden jump center. Nathan controls the tap, taps it to Krakowski. They'll give it to Daum, and the Quakers will begin this contest with the basketball. And again, it's been turnovers that have killed the Red Pride in their losses. They get the ball to Nathan. Nathan, turnaround jumper from the baseline. It's no good. Krakowski gets the rebound, but he throws it right into the hands of the Northview Northview Knights, Quentin Hayes. Hayes, I believe, is their leading scorer. He was the one that will generally get the ball in his hands. He will look to take the shot. Quakers will start out in a man-to-man, driving the lane and dumping it down was Kalen Shane. He tried to get it to Drew Lumsden, but the Knights turn it over, and here come the Quakers the other way.
Good ball movement by Northview. Looks like they went around a motion offense. They were picking and screening, just made the turnover there on their first possession.
We've seen Bryson Ellis now working at the shooting guard. We've seen him play guard and forward as a traditional swing man. We've seen a lot of that from Max Krakowski, but it looks like Coach Weaver is going to look to put Max more in a true forward position. They get the ball into Brenz. Here's Mills. His jumper from in front of the free throw line's no good, but Brenz tracks down the basketball for the Quakers.
Partially deflected, partial block shot there.
Here's Krakowski. He finds Brenz, and the Quakers have the first 2 points of the contest.
Good for Connor there to get on the scoreboard early.
Good find from Max Krakowski from out in the corner. Found Brenz all alone underneath, and Brenz converts, and the Quakers lead 2-0 as we are a minute and a half into this opening quarter here at the Red Pride Gymnasium.
Good student section on hand for Plainfield, way above average, and they also have the pep band here, so good crowd here at Plainfield.
Here's a three ball that misses everything by Dylan Hyatt. Of course, school back in session. The Quakers have played a few games without the regular student body here through the holidays, but now school back in session. The pep band's here. And, of course, the always exuberant student section here at the Red Pride Gymnasium. Quakers with the basketball, leading 2-0. We're about 2 minutes into this game. Here's Brenz. He looks underneath, gives it to Mills at the left elbow. Nathan picks up his dribble, leans in, looks for the foul, doesn't get it, gets his own rebound, puts it up, no good, ball's loose. Mills finally comes down with it, and Nathan puts it up and in.
Well, Nathan Mills really active. He's already taken 5 or 6 shots, a couple rebounds there. Good work on the boards, got him that basket.
Good intensity, good focus there. Quakers come away with 2, and they lead 4-0, 5:40 left to go in this opening quarter. They'll stay in the man-to-man as Northview moves the ball with Kalen Shane dribbling. He will kick it left side. This is into the hands of Dylan Hyatt. Hyatt with the basketball. Gets cut off. He'll give it to Quentin Hayes, and Hayes will set the offense for the Knights. 4-0 Plainfield with the lead, and now first whistle of the contest as Nathan Mills jumps out for a little help defense on the top of the key, but he's going to be called for his first foul of the game.
You know, we've seen Plainfield at times use their height of Max and Nathan down low to gain an advantage over some opponents, but Northview can match that height a little bit. 44, Drew Lumsden is 6'8", and then Hunter Reagan, number 43, 6'5". They like to put him out at the point on defense.
When you take a look at this Northview team, like I said, very, very young. In fact, they do not start a single senior, and there's only 2 on their roster. So a young team for Coach Clint Weddle, and they find themselves trailing 4-0 as we dip under the 5-minute mark within the first quarter. And as Quentin Hayes makes a move baseline, another whistle and another foul will be called against the Red Pride. This foul is going to go against Mark Daum the second. Yeah. That's his first, team foul number 2, and the Knights will inbound from the baseline. They trail 4-0, but a nice inbounds play as they find right underneath the basket Hunter Reagan, and Reagan has the first 2 points for Northview.
Yeah, Coach Weaver was wanting Mark Daum to use his feet on defense. You got to move those feet. That maybe could have cut off that lane and avoided that foul. Like you said, Brian, good inbounds plays. Gets Northview their first basket.
Here's Connor Brands on the feed from Nathan Mills. Got it. And put him on the line as Connor Brands gets the nice feed. He gets his second bucket, and he'll have a chance for a 3-point play as the Knights are hit with their first personal foul. Dylan Hyatt will be hit with his first foul. Mark Daum will depart as Reese Crawford is now in. Tristan Reese now into the game for the Knights. Meanwhile, at the free throw line, Connor Brands.
Nice work by Connor. He's already got 4 points. He's averaging 4.8. So with this, he could exceed his average here in the first quarter. This free throw, he got it.
Brands converts the 3-point play, and the Quakers lead by 5, 7-2, with 4:35 left to go in the opening quarter. Driving, Lumsford drops it off, and coming down the middle of the lane was Tristan Reese, who had just entered the contest for the Knights. He gets the bucket, and the Knights trail 7-4. 4:22 left to go in the first quarter. Brands right side. Gets it over to Crawford. Crawford back to out into the corner. They leave it over for Brands. Brands just inside the arc up top. Reese Crawford He's looking for Bryson Ellis, and Ellis will take the ball and reset the offense. Right side, Kurkowski, little 1-3-1 action. Kurkowski finds Brenz underneath to say the foul occurred on the floor, but another foul called against Northview is a good find from Kurkowski. He once again finds Brenz underneath.
Yeah, Max got his head up tonight. He's looking to assist, get his teammates involved. He certainly got Connor Brenz involved here in the first quarter. Good passing by Max, and he'll inbound the ball here.
Dylan Hyatt is hit for his second personal. Nice inbound feed. Kurkowski sent it out to Crawford, then ran to the corner. Found Kurkowski again. The shot was no good, but Bryson Ellis is able to throw it off of a Knight, and the Quakers will keep the basketball down at this end as Hyatt will have to leave with the 2 fouls for Coach Weddle. 7-4, Quakers with the lead. And Crawford almost lost it, but went into the hands of Nathan Mills. Mills with the right elbow. Lee has to find Crawford. Crawford, little floater in the lane, was well short, but there's Nathan Mills to pick it up. His shot's no good. Kurkowski underneath. He's able to put it back up. Won't get the bucket, but he's going to draw a foul against the Knights.
Plainfield dominating the boards early here in this first quarter. I have them with 5 rebounds, and Northview none so far.
Kalen Shane is going to hit his first foul. It's a 13 foul against the Knights, and Max Kurkowski's at the line for a pair of free throws.
I'm sorry, Brian. Max is 75% foul shooter coming into this game.
And just like that, the inimitable
don't say it
broadcaster jinx hits as Max misses the first free throw. Second free throw on its way, and he splits the free throws.
Attaboy, man.
Max has his first point, and the Quakers have doubled up their lead on the Knights 8-4 with 3:31 left to play in this first quarter. Quakers are staying in a man-to-man as they get the ball. Quentin Hayes, his 3 from the top of the key is good. Nice catch and shoot by the young man. His 3-pointer makes it an 8-7 Quaker lead.
I like the way Northview moves the ball on offense. They turnover right here, but Northview moves that ball. They, like we said, a motion-type offense.
Mills' pass to Brenz was picked off, and this time it's Max Kurkowski able to get in there and steal the ball away. Might have got popped in the nose a little bit, but the Quakers have the basketball up by 1. They lob it into Brenz. Brenz out to Crawford. 3 from the wing on its way. That's no good, and it's Hayes with a rebound for the Knights. He'll push it up. He'll lay it up. Too strong, and Brenz has the rebound for the Quakers. 8-7, Plainfield with the lead, 2:37 left to go in this first quarter. Bryson Ellis gives it to Reese Crawford. Crawford with the basketball, picks it up, gives it over to Kurkowski. A 1-3-1 now being shown by Northview, but they put a man on Bryson. On Nathan Mills as Crawford has the basketball.
Be interesting to see how Reese does coming off the bench. He is their leading 3-point shooter. He's made 12 3-pointers this season for the Red Pride. That leads the team.
Here is Nathan, gives it to Crawford. They swing it around as Reese finds Nathan Mills. Mills drives, goes right up against 3 Northview defenders, and while he will not get the bucket, he will draw the 4th team foul against the Knights. 1:57 left to go in this first quarter. Foul is going to be called against Braden Tucker.
Yep, and Nathan makes that when he comes in this game. Just a 64% free throw shooting for Nathan, so we'd like to bump that number up a little bit.
Connor Brenz and Bryson Ellis depart. We'll see Kyler Nichols come into the contest. He'll be joined
Tyler West, number
by
20.
Tyler West.
Tyler did not play in the JV game. He's usually a regular on JV. He's moved up to the varsity bench here tonight.
Nathan can't get the second free throw. Of course, Tyler came in late in that game against Brownsburg in the opening game of the Hendricks County tournament, and immediately he had some pretty good play in there, and he's getting some varsity minutes now as the ball's loose. Quentin Hayes can't get the point-blank shot. Kurkowski with a rebound. Quakers almost turn it over. Here's a shot from the left elbow by Crawford. It's no good. And the rebound is pulled down by Dylan Hyatt of the Knights. 1:23 left to go. First quarter, 9-7. Quakers with the lead, but the Knights with the basketball. Quakers stay in the man-to-man as the Knights move the ball around. They get a screen at the top, and now they'll give the ball back to Quentin Hayes. Hayes, who hit that three at the top of the key to make it a 1-point game, but Quakers now lead 9-7. We're approaching the 1 minute mark left to go in this first quarter. Knights being patient with the basketball. With it right now, driving Hunter Reagan. He sends it out. The three is no good by Braylon Compton, but Hayes gets the rebound, and the Knights may play for the final shot here of the quarter.
As you said, Brian, they are being patient, well coached on offense. They have a good scheme. Here's an open man from three.
A wide open three is no good by Tristan Reese, but here's Hayes with a rebound, and he will hit the three from the corner.
Boy, the offensive rebounds gave them an extended possession there, and they made the most of it.
The Knights have their first lead of the contest, 10-9. 23 seconds remain in the first quarter. Quentin Hayes has given them 2 3-point baskets, one to get them within one, and this one to give them their first lead of the game. 9 seconds remaining as the Quakers will play for the last shot. Right side Nichols, they send it over. From the corner, West hits the three.
Tyler West.
And that's how the first quarter ends. Tyler West hits the three from the corner, and the Quakers will enter the second period with a 12-10 lead over Northview. Back in a moment is Red Pie Basketball on Audio Sports Online.
Does Wings Etc. have great wings? Sure, but wait, there's more. So much more than award-winning jumbo wings. Stop past our new location in Plainfield at 1818 East Main Street, just west of Kroger, and you'll get a great big taste of what the Etc. and Wings Etc. is all about. You can call 406-3250 to place your to-go order today. That's Wings Etc. at 1818 East Main Street in Plainfield. Thanks for tuning. Whether you're looking to buy a new home or need to refinance an existing mortgage, J.P. Brenz and Caliper Home Loans can help you with all your mortgage financing needs, including conventional, FHA, VA, and USDA loans. Contact J.P. today at 550-2116. That's J.P. Brenz and Caliper Home Loans.
Tyler West, three from the corner, gives the Quakers the lead. 12-10 as we begin the second quarter of action. Alongside Christopher Worley, I'm Brian Scott. And Chris, this is one of the reasons why Tyler is now playing some varsity minutes. We saw that in the game against Brownsburg. He's been able to hit some long-range shots.
Yeah, he gave him some quality minutes off the bench in that Brownsburg game. He's been in a couple of varsity games off the bench. Very good player at the JV level, so I think he's earned this promotion. Gave him a spark there at the end of the first quarter and provided Plainfield with a 2-point lead here to start the second. And Tyler West will be on the playing surface to start this second quarter.
So Tyler West, a sophomore 6-footer, as the Knights have the ball to begin the second quarter, but not for long, as the held ball will give the alternating possession back to Plainfield. So on the court, it is Mark Daum, Kyler Nichols, Tyler West, Connor Brenz, and Nathan Mills. That's the five for the Red Pride as they look at Northview starting the second quarter in a 2-3 zone. West with the basketball in the corner, tries to get it to Daum, but it's Quentin Hayes with the interception, and the turnover gives the ball back to the Knights, down by 2. With the basketball right now, Braylon Compton, they get it down into the corner, driving, laying it up off the glass, shot no good by Brayton Tucker, but a whistle on the foul is going to go against the Red Pride.
Yeah, Nathan Mills caused that miss by Tucker with his length and size. As you mentioned, Brian, very good shot blocker is Nathan, and he changed that first shot, resulted in no good, but Northview rebound, and the putback drew the foul.
Connor Brands is hit with a personal. That's his first, team foul number 3 at the line, shooting 2, and hitting the first of 2 is Braylon Compton. That's the first free throw for the Knights in this contest, and they hit it to make it a 12-11 game, and Compton can tie it with a free throw here, which he does. Quakers are 3 of 5 from the line in that first quarter, and now the Knights, with a pair of free throws here in the second, have tied the game at 12 with 7:23 left to go first half. Nichols gets the ball into the front court, gives it to Mills, back to Nichols. Knights maybe looking to trap as the Quakers will now move it to Daum. Daum back over to Nichols. Tyler West looks for Nathan Mills. Mills picks up his dribble, finds Nichols. 3-ball from the wing is no good. West with a rebound, gives it to Nathan. Nathan drove the right side of the lane, and coming from behind was Braden Tucker. Tucker thought he got all ball, but got a bit of Nathan as well. And Braden Tucker is going to be hit with his second foul, 15th foul against the Knights. That's going to send Nathan to the line.
Good strong move to the bucket by Nathan there. Attack the basket. Nathan listed as 6'5", 195 pounds. Of course, just a sophomore. I expect that body to continue to grow as his career goes on here at Plainfield.
Max Krakowski is going to return to the lineup. He's going to come in for Connor Bren, so they'll leave Tyler West out on the court. Nathan, 3 points in that first quarter. He's 1 of 2 for the line, make it 1 of 3 as he misses the first. Let's see if he can split the free throws here, which he does. 4 points for Nathan Mills. Quakers lead 13-12 with 6:53 left to go first half. Knights will slowly bring it into the front court as the Quakers stay in that man-to-man, and Kyler Nichols thought he had knocked it off of the Knights, and so did Coach Andy Weaver,
yes.
But they're going to keep the ball in the hands of the black-clad Knights. This is Quentin Hayes with the basketball. He's joined out there by Braylon Compton, Brandon Tucker, Tristan Reese, as it is Reese with the basketball right now. He gives it to Tucker. Tucker's 3 well short, but there's Hayes. Right place, right time to catch that air ball and reset the offense for the Knights. Drew Lumsden is the 5th Knight on the court for Northview. 13-12, Quakers with a lead, 6:14 left to go first half.
Plainfield in man-to-man defense.
Hayes drives right side of the lane, stops, shot long. Mills with a rebound for the Quakers. Nathan almost lost it, now gets it into the front court. Left side, Krakowski. Nice ball fake, but they're going to call traveling against Max.
3rd turnover of the first half here for Plainfield.
Max tried to give a little ball fake and then drive to the hoop, but he shuffled his feet. And Nathan's going to get a breather as Connor Brenz comes in for Nathan, and now wholesale changes for Clint Weddle. We'll try to get those for you as we can, as he changes out quite a few players. Into the game is Seth Payton. He's joined by Dylan Hyatt, who rejoins the contest. Braylon Compton stays out on the court, so does Tristan Reese and Drew Lumsden. Those are the 5 for Northview. 5:46 left to go first half. Quakers lead 13-12. Quite a bit difference in offense than what we saw in the JV game, Chris. We saw a lot of points put up by Coach Groniger's JV team.
Right. Yeah, so far, just 13-12. And Northview very patient on offense. I like their scheme, though.
We got an offensive foul away from the ball. And it will be the 6th team foul. And it will be called against Drew Lumsden. That's his first. Tyler West leaves, and he gets some high fives as he takes a seat on the bench. Nathan Mills returns for the Quakers. West hit that big 3 to close out the first quarter and give the Quakers the 2-point lead heading into the second. Quakers up by 1 with 5:25 left to go in the second quarter, as Kyler gets the ball across court, and Keegan Motter now into the game for Coach Andy Weaver.
Need a good possession this time. Let's get a good play and get a score. Here's Nathan down low.
Krakowski's lob into Mills was mishandled and got thrown right back to Nathan, but we'll have they're going to say that it was Braylon Compton trying to save the ball on the sideline right in front of the Northview bench. Evidently had a foot on the sideline, so we'll give the ball back to the Quakers.
Second chance here. Need to score on this possession, I think, Brian. Just 5 minutes left in the half. Of course, Quakers would like to stretch out this lead a little bit.
Keegan Motter with the basketball left side to Mills, cross court. Here's the 3 by Kyler Nichols, is up and good.
Big shot there by Kyler Nichols.
Kyler's 3 makes it a 4-point Quaker advantage with 4:44 left to go in the first half.
That was just Kyler's second 3-pointer of the year.
Quakers, that has not been a strong suit of Plainfield all season long, is the perimeter shots. Nice little ball fake and setting up And hitting the jumper at the free throw line is Dylan Hyatt for his first points of the night.
Dylan Hyatt, just a sophomore there. Great ball fake. Got himself an open shot at the free throw line and nailed it.
Quakers lead 16-14. They'll give it to Kurkowski. Three from the corner is good.
Back-to-back possessions, back-to-back three-pointers by the Red Pride. Does stretch out that lead to 5 points now, 19-14.
About halfway through this second period, 19-14. Quakers with the advantage, Knights with the basketball. Up top, Lumsden, he gives it over to Compton. Compton's three from the wing. That's no good. It'll be fought for underneath, and they'll say it was last touched by Northview, and the ball goes back into the hands of Plainfield. Seth Payton comes into the contest, as does Kalen Shane for Northview. As Kyler Nichols departs, and Dawson Messer and Keegan Motter will run the backcourt for the Quakers.
Seen a lot of different guards here in this first half of
Here's
Plainfield.
A three. It's no good by Motter, and the rebound's controlled by Lumsden of Northview. As Plainfield maybe getting a little bit trigger happy from beyond the arc. They settle for a quick three there. With 3:30 left to go in this second period. And they're running two of their smaller guards out in the backcourt. Meanwhile, down front, they have three of their biggest players, and it's Brenz that'll get the rebound for the Quakers, because they'll have Brenz, Kurkowski, and Mills in the front court with Motter and Messer in the backcourt. Here's a three ball this time from Messer. It's no good, and back-to-back threes lead to one-and-dones by the Quakers.
4 straight possessions now with a three-point shot. 2 of them went in, 2 missed.
Quakers still lead 19-14, under 3 minutes left. Here's a long-range three from the top of the key. That's no good by Northview's Kalen Shane. And the ball will go back into the hands of the Quakers. Drew Lumsden will leave. Hunter Reagan back onto the court for Coach Weddle's Knights. They trail 19-14 as the Quakers have the basketball with 2:49 left to go in the first half. Alongside Christopher Worley, I'm Brian Scott. See what the Quakers draw up here. They have settled for the long-range three on their last 4 possessions, as Chris mentioned. Here's Brenz in the wing. Skip pass, touch pass into the corner. Thought about it, pulled it back, and then Keegan Motter pulls the trigger, and this time he does get the three in the corner.
Keegan got that one. That's his 4th three-pointer of the season so far. 3-point shooting becoming contagious for both squads. Here's another one.
Quentin Hayes' three is no good, but he gets his own rebound, and he'll put it up and in.
Well, a rare thing for high school ball is to follow your own shot. He certainly did that there, Quentin, with the basket for Northview.
Hayes now with 8 points. He leads all scorers, but the Quakers still lead 22-16 with 2 minutes left in the first half. With the basketball is Keegan Motter. Mills in the corner. He found Brenz underneath. Lost it for a second. Got it back to Nathan. Nathan kisses it off the glass. And Nathan Mills, he now has 6 points, and the Quaker lead is their biggest of the night at 8 at 24-16.
And there's a bucket inside, so a couple good straight possessions. Tyler West set to check back in for the Quakers.
Driving and kicking out. Here's a three from Hayes. His shot's no good. He will get his own loose ball, drops it off in the lane, and getting the kind roll off the rim was Tristan Reese. Reese with 4 points, 24-18. The Quakers with the lead and the basketball. Mills, he will send it over to Keegan Motter. Motter over to Messer. He has Kurkowski in the corner, but he'll send it back over to Keegan. Keegan with the basketball. Skip pass over to Kurkowski. Kurkowski tries to lay it in, almost throws it away, but there's Dawson Messer to pick it up. He'll give it back to Kurkowski, and Kurkowski will hit the three from the corner.
Incredible.
Kurkowski with his second three-pointer of the game. He has 7. And the Quaker advantage is up to 9 with 57.3 seconds remaining. Now Mark Daum and Tyler West will come in for Keegan Motter and Dawson Messer as the Knights will have the basketball. 57.3 seconds remain in the half. 27-18 is our score. Quakers with fouls to give. They only have 3 team fouls. Meanwhile, Northview has 6. They get it down in the corner, driving baseline. Dylan Hyatt kicks it out to Quentin Hayes. Hayes tries to get around Daum. They'll send it out to Hyatt. Hyatt has to send it back out to Hayes. Hayes with the ball fake, drives, lays in the lane, gets fouled on his way to the hoop. And Quentin Hayes.
Quentin Hayes, a good-looking player, Brian. You know, he's a junior, listed at just 6'1", 150, but he's got a good-looking game here. Now he's going to go to the line.
Hayes is there, I believe, their leading scorer, though we don't have a whole lot of information about Northview. Looking over some of their past box scores, Hayes has been their leading scorer in those games, and he's at the line for the first time tonight. He hits the first of a pair. Connor Brenz is in for Tyler West, who was charged with that foul. Hunter Reagan will leave, as it will be Braden Tucker who returns to the lineup for the Knights with 2 personals. Now Seth Payton will come in for Dylan Hyatt as Coach Weddle sets up his defense. 33.7 seconds remain in this half, 27-19. And another substitution is Braylon Compton is now in for Kalen Shane. Meanwhile, Quentin Hayes has been waiting patiently throughout all of this, and he calmly sinks the second free throw. He now is in double figures with 10 points, but the Quakers have a 7-point lead with 30 seconds remaining in the half. Nichols gives it to Kurkowski. Kurkowski back to Nichols, joined by Tyler West, Nathan Mills, and Connor Brenz. This is Nathan in the wing, looking to give it to Brenz, but Brenz well guarded down on the post. Tyler back up top. 10 seconds remain in the half. Tyler Nichols with the basketball with 6. They'll throw it down low and over the heads of Connor Brenz. Kyler Nichols looking for Brenz down in the low post, but just simply threw it over his head. And with 3.8 seconds remaining, we'll have a few substitutions. Dom, Bryson Ellis, and Anthony Bolin all come in.
Little defensive substitutions. Boy, you sure didn't want to see a turnover there right at the end of the half for Plainfield.
Quakers with fouls to give, and that may be one of the reasons all these mass substitutions. Here's a half-court shot off the backboard by Quentin Hayes. Hayes probably had another second to try to get a little closer, but he elected to launch it. Shot's no good, and that's the end of the first half. The Quakers have a 7-point lead as they head to the locker room. They lead Northview 27-20. We'll be back right after these messages. This is Red Pride Basketball on AudioSportsOnline.com.
We all have a guy, but who's your guy? Jeremiah P. Whip State Farm Agency in Plainfield next to Popeye's Chicken is a proud supporter of Plainfield basketball. Jeremiah specializes in life insurance and retirement maximization. Call 839-3322 or go to who'syourguy.net to contact Jeremiah today. That's Jeremiah P. Whip State Farm Agency in Plainfield. Prestwick Pet Sitters and owner Dawn Crawford is a proud sponsor of the Plainfield Quakers basketball team. Prestwick Pet Sitters has been in business for over 20 years, servicing Plainfield, Avon, and Danville, specializing in home pet care for all types of pets, from Angora rabbits to zebrafish and all the cats and dogs in between. Visit PrestwickPetSitters.com or call 745-9900 to learn more or schedule an appointment before your next trip. That's PrestwickPetSitters.com.
Good. Back at halftime here, 27-20 Plainfield lead over Northview. And we've got a special guest with us here right now. We got Mr. Torrey Rodkey, the athletic director here at Plainfield. Of course, Torrey in his first year as athletic director here, but most folks around here know him. He's been an assistant principal, got a lot of other experience, both in administration, teaching, and coaching at the high school level. So, Torrey, we just want to ask you, how about your athletic director job so far? Has it been what you expected, or what have you learned about it so far here?
Yeah, I would say it's probably been what I expected. I've been around, athletics basically my whole life, and especially in the role as an assistant principal, about the supervision and the different time commitments and things like that, and being here around Plainfield for 5 years before taking this position and being with Dana Green day in and day out really helped. And it's still a learning experience. It seems like each day you have something new that comes up that you haven't had to deal with. But after 5 or 6 months here, it's getting easier every day.
Have you found that your coaching experience has helped you in this athletic director's job? Of course, as far as relating to your coaches.
Yeah, I would hope so. I think we've got really good coaches here. up and down the line, the Olympics type sports like swimming and golf and things like that, all the way to our, more, I guess you would say, out in front sports like football and basketball. Our coaches really take pride in Plainfield and not just coaching the sport, but, teaching young kids. And I think that's helped. I coached a lot of different sports, not just one sport back in my teaching days. And, I think that helps. You see a lot of different perspectives that way.
Sure, of course. And now we're here at halftime of the boys' basketball game, but a lot of other winter sports going on right now. Of course, the Plainfield girls basketball had a big week last week. They just became back-to-back Hendricks County champions, so that was a good week for the girls last week.
Yeah, absolutely. We're really proud of Coach Benj and the girls, and they were able to pull it out last year, and then this year as well. So we're back-to-back Hendricks County champs, and to be honest with you, I think what Coach is probably most pleased, we probably played our best basketball of the year. You look at that championship game over at Avon, and we beat Avon in the championship. And we just passed the ball well, shared the ball well, and it's good this time of year. The girls section will be here before you know it, and to be playing the best basketball of the year at this time is really important.
Of course, then you got boys and girls swimming going on. Fine swimming facility here. How's that program going?
It's going well. We graduated some really high-level swimmers last year, but Coach Cavanaugh and Coach Johnson and Coach Allen and the diving coach have all done a really good job. We've got an outstanding female diver, Molly Fears, went to the state last year. She's just a junior, has a chance to be going to the state again this year and hopefully, placing high. We had a girls relay team, and I think it was the 200 free set a conference record last Saturday. They work hard. I've got a son that's an 8th grader that swims, and the time commitment and the morning practices and the afternoon practices and just the amount of time they spend in the pool and the work ethic. Most people don't understand that other than their parents. Sure. And really proud of our swimmers. And our wrestlers travel tomorrow to Franklin for the Mid-State. We've got 2 wrestlers that are ranked in the state. Bryce Biddle, who suffered a little bit of a meniscus problem with his knee, and going to wrestle tomorrow, but he's top 5 in the state in the heavyweight or the 285 division. And Isaac Gomez is also a state-ranked wrestler. And Coach Nicodemus and his guys have done a really good job of working with those kids as well.
Yeah, Red Pride Wrestling, always a big deal around here. Of course, with all the different sports offerings you have here and the great facilities, I imagine, for you as athletic director and been around this program, that the athletic program here is more than just getting W's and losses, wins and losses, for a team against the schedule they play. The student athlete means a lot to your program and the experience they have here. Yeah, absolutely. And that starts with the coaches. We don't have a coach in our entire system that's a win at all cost coach. We have people that teach the right things. They teach life lessons, not just the sport. And I couldn't be prouder of our coaches and how they treat kids. The old days of cussing and screaming and yelling and getting mad and holding grudges like that as a coach, those days passed us about 20, 25 years ago, I think. And we've got coaches here that understand the big picture and do a good job of working with kids and families. Good. Of course, we'd be remiss if we didn't ask you about a very important contributor to the local sports scene here, and of course that's the Red Pride Booster Club that does such a good job. What do they mean to you and your athletic program? Yeah, our Red Pride Booster Club does an outstanding job. We just had a meeting this week. Rich Phillips, the president of the Red Pride Booster Club, has been for the last few years, and they really do. It's not just monetary. Obviously they help financially. But they also help with scholarships for the kids. At the end of the year, we give away $6,000 or $7,000 scholarships or so, and they really, like for everything from the tailgates at the football games to the 50-50 raffles here at the basketball games, and they're doing an indoor tailgate next week against Mooresville. Just everything to help make the experience better for the fans and for the community. And I really can't say enough for the amount of time that they put in and really helps our athletic budget and our athletic program. We've got Monte Carlo night coming up in February, towards the end of February. They have their annual Monte Carlo night. It'll be at Metropolis and the Duke Energy Center, and all that stuff is a lot of fun and also helps us. Well, that's tremendous. Of course, great sports program here. You're doing a good job in your first year here,
I don't know about
AD
that.
Rocky. So we wish you all the best, and thanks for this visit at halftime. We appreciate it. Good luck the rest of the year in all your sports.
No problem, and I appreciate you guys coming out here. And I took a couple weeks off over spring break, took about 10 days, and I'm down in Fort Myers, Florida, watching the game, watching the Perry Meridian game on my iPad. So
good.
It's a great, if people can't get to the games, it's a great way to catch up and still stay active with Plainfield basketball.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Rocky.
That's Tori Rodke, the athletic director here at Plainfield High School. We come back. Second half action. The Quakers lead the Northview Knights 27-20. We'll be back in just a moment. This is Red Pride Basketball on Audio Sports Online.
We'd like to thank Raymond's Alignment Service in Plainfield for being a proud sponsor of Plainfield Quaker basketball. Raymond's Alignment Service is Plainfield's complete auto and truck repair center since 1995. You can visit them at 3828 Clarks Creek Road in Plainfield or give them a call at 317-838-7112. That's Raymond's Alignment Service in Plainfield. Does Wings Etc. have great wings? Sure, but wait, there's more. So much more than award-winning jumbo wings. Stop past our new location in Plainfield at 1818 East Main Street, just west of Kroger, and you'll get a great big taste of what the Etc. and Wings Etc. is all about. You can call 406-3250 to place your to-go order today. That's Wings Etc. at 1818 East Main Street in Plainfield.
Alongside Christopher Worley, I'm Brian Scott, getting ready for second half action here at the Red Pride Gymnasium. Plainfield Quakers lead Northview 27-20. Leading all scorers at the half is Northview's Quentin Hayes. He has 10 points. He had a couple of threes in that first quarter, and he leads all scorers, the only scorer in double digits. The rest of the Knights, 4 points from Tristan Reese, 2 points each from Dylan Hyatt, Braylon Compton, and Hunter Reagan. Seth Payton, Kalen Shane, Drew Lumpton, and Braden Tucker did not score. The Knights were 4-4 from the free throw line in that first half. All of that happened in the second quarter. For the Plainfield Quakers, leading scorer with 7 points is Max Kurkowski. Nathan Mills has 6 points, 5 points from Connor Brenz, and then 3 points each from Keegan Motter, Kyler Nichols, and Tyler West, all of them from beyond the arc. Getting in the game but not scoring was Dawson Messer, Anthony Bolin, Reese Crawford, Mark Daum, and Bryson Ellis. The Quakers 4-7 from the charity stripe, and a rather oddity for Plainfield. All but one of their shots from the field or baskets made from the field were of the three-point variety. They had 4 3-pointers in that second quarter, and the Knights will have the basketball to begin quarter number 3. Trailing 27-20. It looks like the same starting 5 for both teams out to begin this third quarter as Nathan Mills skies for the rebound. He goes down hard, and a whistle and a foul is going to be called against Northview.
Yeah, except for that turnover there at the end of the half by the Quakers. A good last 5 to 6 minutes there, that second quarter for Plainfield. Was able to stretch that lead out a little bit. Of course, now they fell in love with the three a little bit and hit some of them. So need to continue this good offensive work here in the third quarter. Keep strong, keep intense. Let's get the job done. An important game here tonight for the Red Pride to try and win.
Here's a lob to Max Kurkowski, and I made a quick change here. Andy Weaver will start Kyler Nichols at the point rather than have Bryson Ellis working the shooting guard. He'll move Daum over to shooting guard, and it was a lob from Nichols to Kurkowski. They give the Quakers a 9-point lead here in the third quarter.
Yeah, Max saw that hole in the Northview defense along the baseline there, and he called for that ball, and the good pass in got it to him for the nice alley-oop.
Dylan Hyatt was called for the foul on that last foul by Northview. He now has 3, nobody else with more than 2. No Quaker with more than 1 personal foul, as they did a good job of keeping fouls to a minimum there in that first half. They'll start in the second half in a man-to-man. Here's Hayes. Shot blocked by Daum, but chases after it, gets the loose ball, sends it out, and the 3 is up and good by Kalen Shane. And now we'll see how young Quentin Hayes is. And we've already been impressed by the young man's tenacity in following shots and seemingly going after the orange. And he is slow to get up after having his shot partially blocked by Mark Daum. He chased after the basketball And he will slowly get up and make his way over to the bench. But
looked like a hip. I think he landed hard on his hip there. And Coach Clint Weddle of Northview was not happy that there was not some kind of foul called with this player laying there on the court. And he is having trouble moving and walking around. Their athletic trainer will look at him right now, and he may go back to the dressing room to receive a little treatment there for Northview, so they can ill afford to lose him.
Well, they're going to see if he can walk this one off, as he has been really the heart and soul of their team. There's a leading scorer, 10 points in that first half, and as I mentioned, always seems to know where the orange is and always seems to be diving after the basketball, and he's making his way back to the bench. Quakers have the basketball up by 6 with 6:24 left to go third quarter. Dahm with the basketball. He will give it to Mills. Mills from the corner just inside the arc, and Nathan Mills gets his first shot here in the second half. He has 8, and the Quaker lead is at 8, 31-23.
Great shot there by Nathan. That's something he can do when he's even crowded along the baseline. With that size and good jumping ability, he can get up and get his own shot, jump over a lot of defenders to get an open shot like that.
Drew Lumsden will send it left side. This is Braylon Compton. Thinks about the three, but he has Kurkowski with a hand in his face. Now he will step up, and from inside the arc, Braylon Compton gets the bucket. He has 4 points. 31-25, the Quakers with the lead. 5:42, left to go third quarter.
You know, from the field, Nathan's shooting 48% coming into this game, so that's almost 50%. Pretty good percentage for Nathan on the offensive end.
Quakers scored 12 points in the first quarter, 15 in the second quarter, and have 4 points here in the third. Mills has the basketball, works, spins in the lane, shot too strong. Brenz taps it off the glass. Ball still loose, and finally Dylan Hyatt comes away with it for the Knights. He'll kick it left side. 3-ball coming on its way from the corner. Shot no good by Kalen Shane, and the Quakers have the rebound. Dahm gives it to Nichols. Kyler into the front court quickly. He'll go right side. Drop it off to Dahm, back to Kyler. 3-ball from the wing, on its way. That's off the rim, no good. There's Mills for the rebound. He will lay it up with a right hand and get the kind roll around the rim.
Good, strong work by Nathan there for that rebound. That wasn't easy to get. He outjumped 3 other Northview big men inside to get that.
Mills now in double figures with 10 points, and it's back to a 8-point advantage for the Quakers with 4:34 left to go. Here's a pull-up jumper, no good by Compton. It is Kurkowski with the rebound, gives it to Nichols, up to Dahm. Mark, bounce pass to Mills, back to Nichols. Nichols in the lane. Didn't know what he wanted to do with the basketball. Had a wide open shot, ended up leaving it short. But Mills gets the rebound for the Quakers.
We like the unselfishness there, but he needed to go ahead and put that ball up.
Mills 3 from the corner is no good, but there's a tip up and in by Connor Brenz. Brenz with 7. Connor, just a nice little tip back into the basket, and the Quakers now lead by 10 with under 4 minutes left to play in the third quarter.
Always good to see Connor involved in the offense. He's just a sophomore, and with that size, he's going to continue to develop good things for Plainfield future in Connor Brenz.
Here's Hyatt. His 3 from the wing is up and good. Dylan Hyatt with the 3-pointer. He has 5 points, 35-28. Quakers with the basketball and the lead.
3-point field goals keeping Northview in this game. Brian, they can shoot those threes a little bit.
They've got 2 3-pointers here in this third quarter. And they will stay in this. They look down low. Here's Mills. He'll just put up the shot. It'll roll off the rim. Compton with a rebound for Northview. It doesn't have numbers as the Quakers get back in transition.
Rebounding battle. Plainfield has a slight edge. I count it 19-13 for the game.
Here's Hyatt. He had a lot of foul difficulties in that first half. He picked up his 3rd early in this third quarter, but he has been kept out on the field, on the court, especially with Quentin Hayes now sitting on the bench for Coach Clint Weddle. Here's a 3 coming up near the top of the key. It's short, and Mark Dahm comes away with a rebound off the miss by Kalen Shane. 2:35 left to go third quarter, 35-28. Quakers with the lead and the basketball. Kyler Nichols with the basketball, picks up his dribble, gives it to Dahm, who gives it to Nathan Mills, and we're going to have a timeout called as Coach Andy Weaver calls a quick 30-second timeout with 2:27 left to go in this third period. This is the first timeout either team has used so far in the game.
Yeah, and Brian, he also wanted to make some substitutions there, he being Coach Weaver. He's going to bring Tyler West into the game along with Bryson Ellis here on this offensive possession for Plainfield. We've kind of seen that a lot from Coach Weaver. He likes offense, defense, substitutions when he can make them.
Of course, Bryson Ellis got the start at the shooting guard position to begin this game. They used Mark Daum at the point guard, but to begin the second half, they moved on to the shooting guard and had Kyler Nichols running the point.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about Plainfield girls, of course, being successful, but they are on the road tomorrow night, Plainfield girls at Terre Haute North.
Tyler West will enter the lineup. Bryson Ellis comes in. They join Nathan Mills, Max Kurkowski, and Connor Brenz. They'll lob it up. Mills leaves it short off the rim, but Northview gets the rebound as Jensen Kellett now into the game for the first time. They get the ball down low, and getting the bucket will be Braden Tucker, his first 2 points of the night.
Well, now we know what the timeout was for. It was to call that play for Nathan. It was a good play, just couldn't execute it and get a bucket.
Kellett loses the basketball, and here driving was Connor Brenz baseline. He had a wide lane, just wide open baseline, but unfortunately he lost the basketball.
Let's see what Northview can do this time. Now Plainfield going to a little trap defense out high.
They get it down low. Leading in and getting the bucket is Tristan Reese. Actually, they credited the basket not to Braden Tucker. It was not 32, it was 23. And there's Reese getting the bucket again. And this time he's going to go to the line as the Quakers are hit with their first foul of the second half. This one goes against Nathan Mills, his second. And it will be Tristan Reese at the line to see if he can convert the and one, which he does.
Nice work there to beat that little trap by Northview. I think they're well coached on offense. They've practiced and done some good work there against Plainfield's defense.
And the Knights have slowly and quietly brought this down to only a 2-point Quaker lead at 35-33. In the lane is Kurkowski. He loses the basketball. Knights have numbers. 4-on-2, bounce pass. Compton ends up stepping on the end line. Braylon Compton couldn't quite control the bounce pass, ended up with a foot on the line, and now we'll have a substitution as Reese Crawford will come in, and he'll do so for Bryson Ellis.
Plainfield needs to take care of the ball here, Brian. 3 turnovers now just in the last minute and a half for Plainfield.
Quakers, when they take care of the basketball, they run a very nice offense, and they usually can get some points, but sloppy ball handling usually does them in, and now as Tristan Reese tried to deny Connor Brenz at the free throw line, he's going to be called for a reach-in foul.
I think that's one reason you're seeing a lot of different guards. Coach Weaver trying to find the right combination in guard play to avoid those turnovers and get good shots in for their scores.
Tristan Reese called for his second team foul called against the Knights as the Quakers have the basketball in the mid-15 left. Here's Max Kurkowski, a quick three from the wing, but there's Tyler West getting the loose ball rebound. He sends it to Reese Crawford, who gives it back to West. Quakers up by 2 with 1:02. Kurkowski in the lane,
Max.
right-hand runner, bounces in.
Good drive right to the middle of the lane, and up for the basket is Max Kurkowski.
Kurkowski now with 11 points. Quakers back to a 4-point advantage with 48 seconds left to go third quarter. Here is Quentin Hayes back in after taking a spill. He hands the ball off. Driving is Kalen Shane. He is rejected by Connor Brenz. Driving the other way is Reese Crawford. He'll lay it up. He'll lay it in.
Good job by Reese. Protected the ball there with his body. Impressive fast break bucket for Reese Crawford.
Crawford with his first 2 points, and what was a 2-point Quaker advantage has quickly stretched back out to 6. And now we're going to have the first timeout called by head coach Clint Weddle of Northview. And we'll take a look. I believe this will be a 30-second timeout. Nope, they'll call a full timeout. So we'll take a timeout as well with 21.4 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Quakers lead 39-33. Back in a moment. This is Red Pride Basketball on Audio Sports Online.
Whether you're looking to buy a new home or need to refinance an existing mortgage, J.P. Brenz and Caliper Home Loans can help you with all your mortgage financing needs, including conventional, FHA, VA, and USDA loans. Contact J.P. today at 550-2116, That's J.P. Brenz and Caliper Home Loans.
Plainfield now with a pair of players in double figures as Nathan Mills has 10, Max Kurkowski has 11. The Red Pride lead is 6 with 21.4 seconds remaining in the third quarter at 39-33. Alongside Christopher Worley, I'm Brian Scott. Plainfield has trailed only a couple of times in this game in the first quarter, I should say, earlier in this game. But since the second quarter, they have led throughout. Northview managed to get it to within 2 just a few minutes ago, but Plainfield has stretched that lead back out to 6 at 39-33. And Northview will have the basketball. They'll take it out of bounds from the sideline right in front of the Northview bench. It'll be Nathan Mills, Tyler West, Mark Daum, Kyler Nichols, and Bryson Ellis on the court for Plainfield. 15 seconds remain as Northview looking for a shot. They will throw it down low as they get it down low, and the shot's no good. Braden Tucker. Knights get the rebound. Ball is loose. Tyler West comes away with it, and now he'll travel. He was looking to do something with the basketball, but didn't quite have any teammates running out ahead of him and ended up dragging the pivot foot. And the Northview Knights have the basketball with 1.3 seconds remaining. They'll get the ball in. Throwing it up is Quentin Hayes with just a turnaround prayer. And it goes long, and that's the end of the third quarter. Quakers lead 39-33. Back in a moment. This is Red Pride Basketball on Audio Sports Online.
We all have a guy, but who's your guy? Jeremiah P. Whip State Farm Agency in Plainfield next to Popeye's Chicken is a proud supporter of Plainfield basketball. Jeremiah specializes in life insurance and retirement maximization. Call 839-3322 or go to HoosierGuide.net to contact Jeremiah today. That's Jeremiah P. Whip State Farm Agency in Plainfield. Prestwick Pet Sitters and owner Dawn Crawford is a proud sponsor of the Plainfield Quakers basketball team. Prestwick Pet Sitters has been in business for over 20 years, servicing Plainfield, Avon, and Danville, specializing in home pet care for all types of pets, from Angora rabbits to zebrafish and all the cats and dogs in between. Visit PrestwickPetSitters.com or call 745-9900 to learn more or schedule an appointment before your next trip. That's PrestwickPetSitters.com.
Northview outscores Plainfield 13-12 in that third quarter, but the Quakers still have a 6-point lead as we enter the final quarter of play, 39-33, alongside Christopher Worley. I'm Brian Scott. Quakers had a few problems taking care of the basketball there in that third quarter. That allowed the Knights to get it as close as 2, but the Quakers now back to a 6-point advantage. They led by 7 at the half, and here's a turnover to begin the fourth quarter.
5 turnovers now in this half for Plainfield, and there's a turnover for Northview. A score update from a little bit north here in a big game. Brownsburg trailing at the half to Fishers 31-25.
Well, we talked a little bit about that here before the game. We figured that game would be much like a football game. It was going to be a very physical game, and so far the Tigers of Fishers leading the Hendricks County champion Brownsburg Bulldogs. Meanwhile, the Quakers lead 39-33 as we are here in the fourth quarter. Both teams turn the ball over on their opening possessions of the quarter as Reese Crawford gives it to Nathan Mills. Mills from the free throw line hits the jumper, and Mills has 12 points.
That's the kind of possession you want for the Quakers. Found Nathan right in the middle of the lane with those big arms and height. He's able to rise up and get a good shot there in the lane. Converts it for 2 for Plainfield.
Quentin Hayes is on the court for Northview. He is joined by Kalen Shane, Dylan Hyatt, Jensen Kellett.
Steal Daum.
And Tristan Reese. Those are the 5 for Northview, and that won't last long as they'll bring back Braylene Compton.
You know, we see Mark Daum draw some difficult defensive assignments for Plainfield on this year. He almost got the steal there. He's got a block shot earlier, so Daum playing his usual good defense here for the Quakers.
It is Daum, Brands, Kurkowski, Crawford, and Mills, the 5 on the court for Andy Weaver here at the fourth quarter. Here is Quentin Hayes with that wind-up three. It's no good. Daum drives, lays it off the glass, and they'll call him for the player control foul. Mark Daum is going to be hit with his second personal as he's called for the player control foul. And the ball will go back to Northview, and a whistle and to stop the inbounds.
I think Daum maybe have some blood or been cut on him. They want to look at him. Not sure. No, he's okay.
I think they're just making sure who the foul was on.
Yeah, that's it, Brian.
Daum with his second team foul against the Quakers. Both teams with only 2 team fouls each. Both teams with 4 timeouts remaining.
Plainfield bench did not complain about that call. The only opposition to the call was raised by this big student section here on that end from Plainfield.
We'll have a foul away from the basketball, and this one's going to go against Northview. Away from the basketball on the baseline. And that foul is going to be, I believe, going to go against Jensen Kellett. That's his first 13 foul. Kellett will depart as Hunter Reagan comes back in for Coach Weddle.
Okay, you got a 41-33 lead here now, Plainfield. This is a big stretch. You need a good 3 to 4 minutes here to put you in a good position to end the game with a good lead.
Mills with the basketball way out on the wing. Skips it over to Kurkowski. Kurkowski up top to Daum. They swing it back to Mills. Nathan drives, kind of double pump, but they're going to call him again for an offensive foul, leaning in to Dylan Hyatt. For Nathan, that's going to be foul number 3. 13 foul against the Quakers. And the ball goes right back into the hands of Northview. So a pair of offensive fouls on the Quaker end leads to empty possessions, but the Quakers still with an 8-point lead. Here's a 3 top the key on its way, and as he fell down, Dylan Hyatt gets the 3, his second 3 of the night. He has 8 points, and it makes it a 41-36 Quaker lead.
I think when Dylan came down there, he just slipped on the floor. I don't think that was a case of a Plainfield foul on that 3-pointer, thank goodness.
Kurkowski gives it to Mills. Nathan pulls up, and thinking that he got all ball was Braylon Compton. Instead, he's going to pick up his first foul, 14th foul against Northview.
There's a rare occasion of Nathan trying to force a shot there. He was well defended. Luckily, he drew the foul, but could have used some more time and patience on offense to get to a more open shot. But Nathan did draw the foul and will go to the line.
Nathan is 2 of 4 from the free throw line tonight. He has 12 points, and that one is strong off the rim, and it comes out.
Is this their first free throws of the second half?
This is the first free throws for the Quakers here in the second half, and not a whole lot of free throws shot in this contest. Quakers are now 4 of 8 and make it 5 of 9 as Mills splits the free throws. The Knights are perfect on the night. They're 5 of 5 from the charity stripe.
And I'm sorry to say, but Nathan's left some points behind, missing free throws here tonight.
Quakers up by 6, 42-36. Here's another 3 this time from Hyatt. And again, he falls down, and this time we'll have a foul called against Northview on the rebound.
Well, all of a sudden here in the fourth quarter, the officials decide we're going to call it a little closer here.
That one's going to go against Drew Lumsden, or excuse me. They called it against Hunter Reagan. That's his first, but it is the 15th foul against Northview. Quakers up by 6, 42-36, 5:05 left to go in this fourth quarter. Quakers looking to be patient here on offense. They've got the lead and time on their side, but Kurkowski telegraphed that one. Compton saved it into Reese, and
timeout.
Before a rather quick timeout called, is I don't even believe Dylan Hyatt had the basketball yet, and they gave Northview the timeout, but they give him the 30-second timeout with 4:51 left to go in quarter number 4. Quakers lead Northview 42-36. Alongside Christopher Worley, I'm Brian Scott. We'll be right back here at the Red Pride Gymnasium next Friday when Mooresville comes to town, and as Chris mentioned earlier, a very, very good Pioneers team. That sets up a nice mid-state matchup.
Yeah, they're always a good program. Mooresville boys and girls, both strong, very impressive. So that's one reason we're saying that Plainfield needs to get this job done and get a win here tonight. And they'd be in a lot better position to do that if they stop turning the ball over. That is their 6th turnover I counted this half. They had 5 in the first half. So take good care of the ball, get good possessions, get a good shot up. Let's involve Nathan and Kurkowski, of course, down low. And of course, go ahead and get this job done.
Of course, 2 of those turnovers came on offensive fouls.
Yeah.
For Plainfield. They have the 6-point lead, but Northview has the ball with 4:50 left to go in regulation. 42-36. Northview with the basketball. Quentin Hayes. They give it all to Dylan Hyatt. Hayes with the basketball once again. Up top, this is Kalen Shane. It has been the 3-point baskets that have kept Northview in this contest. They've had 3 of them here in this second half.
Good to see their number 11, Quentin Haynes, showing no sign of that injury. We saw him walk off on the court earlier.
Daum is covering Hayes. Now they get the ball into Shane's hand. He'll back it out. Over to Hunter Reagan. Reagan, pull-up jumper from the free throw line. It's no good. Connor Brenz comes away with a rebound, and the Knights are one and done as the Quakers come back the other way. Kurkowski with the basketball sends it over to Daum. Halfway through the fourth quarter, 42-36. Plainfield with the lead. Pull-up jumper on its way. Crawford, it's no good. Brenz with a putback. That won't drop either, but a whistle on the foul is going to be called against Northview. That'll be team foul number 6.
No problems on that offensive set. Reese got himself a good shot. Got by that initial defender, about a 15-foot jumper. Just went off the rim, and Connor Brenz was there with a good follow. He'll go to the line.
Brenz with 2 free throws. He had 1 free throw in the first quarter. He made it, and he's now 2 of 2 from the line.
Connor, a 65% foul shooter coming in here. Brian, let's see if we can get him this second, even though we did mention his free throw percentage.
Tristan Reese leaves as Drew Lumsden comes in for Coach Weddle and the Knights. Second free throw, but Brenz is good. He's perfect on the night. He has 8 points, and the Quakers' lead is 8 with 3:48 left to go in regulation at 44-36. It was a 16 foul against the Knights as Quentin Hayes gets down low. Shot's no good, but they'll say the ball went out of bounds off of a Quaker.
Boy, great job by Quentin Hayes creating his own shot. Nathan Mills, the shot blocker, stopped him on his initial chance. Double clutched, moved the other way with the other hand, got up a good shot, just no good.
Kalen Shane will trigger the inbound for the Knights. He'll lob it in to Hunter Reagan. Reagan gives it to Hayes. Over to Drew Lumsden. And now here's a steal as Mills has the basketball. He'll go left side, Reese Crawford. 44-36, 3:30 left in regulation. Quakers with the basketball and the lead. Next team foul by the Knights will send the Quakers to the line in the bonus. Here's a foul, and we heard the slap from here, but no foul called.
I don't know if that slap was on ball or skin. It sounded like skin, but they're going to rule it as all ball. Plainfield will inbounds underneath their own basket.
Crawford thought he got fouled as we heard a lot audible slap from up here, but instead Reese will sit down. He's not at all happy as Kyler Nichols is now in for Coach Weaver and the Quakers. 44-36, Quakers with the basketball, and Kyler Nichols just patient if the Knights aren't going to come out and defend. As we approach the 3-minute mark left to go in regulation. Now, it'll be Kalen Shane coming out on Nichols, and here's Daum. He almost has it stolen away by Quentin Hayes, and Quentin Hayes just is one of those basketball players you look, has a great basketball IQ and a pretty high motor and good hands and good activity. They get it to Mills. Mills, right-hand runner in the lane, drops.
Good job, Nathan. Good play, good patient work to get the ball inside to Nathan. He does what he does best.
15 points for Nathan Mills, and now Coach Clint Weddle is going to call a timeout. I think he was looking for maybe a foul there on Mark Daum on Quentin Hayes, and it's going to be a full timeout. We will take a timeout as well. 2:38 left in regulation, and the Quakers have a 46-36 advantage. Back in a moment as Red Pride Basketball on Audio Sports Online.
We'd like to thank Raymond's Alignment Service in Plainfield for being a proud sponsor of Plainfield Quaker Basketball. Raymond's Alignment Service is Plainfield's complete auto and truck repair center since 1995. You can visit them at 3828 Clarks Creek Road in Plainfield or give them a call at 317-838-7112. That's Raymond's Alignment Service in Plainfield.
Coach Clint Weddle uses a full timeout. He has a full and a 30-second timeout remaining. Coach Weaver still with all 3 of his full timeouts and a 30-second timeout as well. But right now, the Quakers have a 10-point lead at 46-36 with 2:38 left to go in regulation. Alongside Christopher Worley, I'm Brian Scott. Nathan Mills has scored 5 points here in this fourth quarter. Connor Brenz with a couple of free throws. And so far for the Knights, only a Dylan Hyatt three-pointer is all they have to account for on the scoreboard here in the fourth quarter.
With this 10-point lead, now you're in a good position. There's a turnover.
There's a turnover as Quentin Hayes, not sure if he was really expecting that basketball from Hunter Reagan. It goes right off of his hands. And the turnover gives the ball back to the Quakers, up by 10. And now we're going to have a timeout used as Coach Andy Weaver saw his team having a little bit of difficulty getting that basketball inbounds. He will use his second 30-second timeout. He still has all 3 of his full timeouts remaining. But with 2:25 remaining, the Quakers have the advantage of a 10-point lead at 46-36.
Yeah, good call there by Coach Weddle by Northview, and I don't think the Plainfield squad was ready for that pressure right away on that inbounds pass.
Student section here at Plainfield, again, back from the holidays, loud and boisterous.
They're doing a good job here tonight. And, of course, always good to have the pep band. Creates a much better atmosphere for the home squad here, the Plainfield Quakers.
And, of course, always a good Plainfield contingent out to watch the Red Pride in just about any sport you come to. As we are back here at the Red Pride Gymnasium, we'll be back next week for Mooresville, and then Red Pride go on the road for a couple of games.
Like this, everybody back in this backcourt now to help bring the ball up against the pressure defense of Northview.
They give the ball to Kyler Nichols, and Nichols will bring it into the front court with 2:17 remaining in the contest.
Of course, you don't want any turnovers here. You want to run a good set, take some time off the clock, and get a good shot.
Here's Nathan Mills. Gets his man in the air, but sends it out. Here's a 3 from the wing. That shot no good. Kurkowski tried to put it back up and in. It was no good. Then Connor Brenz, his putback was off the bottom of the rim. Might have been a quick 3 from Dawson Messer.
Yeah, that's
he's actually going to come out.
Yep. Yeah, that surprised me. He's getting a little talked to. Just be a little smarter there. Nothing too stern, but good rebound there by Connor. Just couldn't convert it.
Quakers had the basketball in a big lead. They didn't need the shot, especially a 3. But with 1:50 left in regulation, they still lead 46-36. Driving right side, Dylan Hyatt, and they'll say the win off of Hyatt. Official not really sure which way he was going to turn at first, but they'll say the ball belongs to Plainfield. And here's the full court pressure now applied by Northview. Tyler West will come back in. He'll come in for Mark Dong. So everybody into the backcourt here on this inbound play as the Knights pick up full court pressure. Kurkowski gives it to Mills. And Mills will lose it as it's poked out of bounds by Hunter Reagan, but the Quakers will retain possession with 1:40 left to go in the fourth quarter, up by 10.
Max doing the inbounds duty. Of course, the old Al McGuire basketball saying you have your smartest player inbounds the ball in this type of situation.
And Nathan is able to get it into the front court, and he is immediately fouled as he brought it into, as he got the basketball. I think Northview was hoping that it might be called a held ball, but they're going to send Nathan Mills to the line as it's the 7th team foul against Northview, and that sends Nathan to the line for the 1-and-1.
Nathan not having too good a night at the line here. He needs to convert these now with just 1 minute, 36 seconds left and a 10-point lead for Plainfield.
Nathan is 3 of 6 from the charity stripe, and he has held.
There you go.
He gets the first. He'll get the bonus. Nathan now with 6 points here in the fourth quarter, 2 of which have come from the free throw line. Nathan,
good job.
With 2 big free throws, extends it to a 12-point Quaker advantage with 1:34 left to go in this basketball game as Quentin Hayes drives and throws it into the lane. He was looking to find Tristan Reese underneath the basket, but Nathan Mills was able to poke it out of bounds, and it will be Kalen Shane to trigger the inbound from the baseline for the Knights, down by 12 with 1:27.
Continue to play good, hard defense.
They get it in the lane on a nice inbound as little incidental. Max Kurkowski and Dylan Hyatt got tied up underneath. Hyatt's shot was no good, but he's going to earn a trip to the line.
Well, that's kind of what you like to see, Brian. If a guy's going to drive in the lane on you and get right to the hole, if you're going to foul him, make it a good one so he cannot hit the bucket for a three-point play. So Max, a good hard foul there. Now what do we got?
Well, it's not a foul. They're saying that it just simply went off Northview. And that's going to cause Coach Clint Weddle to want to talk this one over.
Oh, my.
And nobody's going to talk about it with him. So it will be
I'm very surprised at that.
It is a full timeout. We'll take a timeout as well. 1:25 left to go in this basketball game. Quakers lead by 12. Back in a moment. This is Red Pride Basketball on ASO.
Does Wings Etc. have great wings? Sure, but wait, there's more. So much more than award-winning jumbo wings. Stop past our new location in Plainfield at 1818 East Main Street, just west of Kroger, and you'll get a great big taste of what the Etc. and Wings Etc. is all about. You can call 406-3250 to place your to-go order today. That's Wings Etc. at 1818 East Main Street in Plainfield.
Coach Clint Weddle uses his final full timeout. He has a 30-second timeout remaining. Quakers have 3 full timeouts remaining, but they lead by 12 with 1:25 left to go in regulation. Alongside Christopher Worley, I'm Brian Scott. Quakers lead 48-36. Coach Weddle was expecting a foul to be called against Max Kurkowski against Dylan Hyatt. Instead, they said the ball went off of Northview, and the Quakers have the basketball.
Incredible there. I'm not sure how that got called.
Here is Kurkowski into the front court, but it's stripped from behind, and now Kurkowski's going to commit the foul. As it was Quentin Hayes able to poke it out from behind. Dylan Hyatt picked up the basketball, and then Kurkowski with the foul, and Coach Weaver not happy at all, but it's going to be Daum coming in for Kyler Nichols.
Here's this offense-defense thing. Mark Daum, a good defender.
And actually, they gave the foul to Kyler Nichols. That's his first. But 1:13 remains, and the Quakers are up by 12. Long-range three, no good off the hand of Kalen Shane. Nathan Mills with the basketball. Now he's fouled. It's the 18th foul against the Knights, so we'll head to the other end of the court where Nathan Mills, who just hit 2 free throws, will be once again back at the free throw line.
Plainfield stretched out the rebound advantage here in the second half, and that's certainly helped their cause here to now have a 12-point lead with just 1:05 left. Need to execute still. Northview has an ability to shoot the three.
Mills' first free throw is good. He will get the bonus. It's really been all Nathan Mills here in this fourth quarter.
Brian, I could be wrong, but I think Plainfield's hit 6 straight free throws here in the second half.
And you would not be incorrect. Mills has hit his last 4. Connor Brenz hit 2, and that's the extent, besides a couple of Mills baskets, of the scoring for the Quakers here in the fourth quarter. But fortunately for Plainfield, the Knights only have a Dylan Hyatt 3-point basket to account for their scoring here in the quarter as well, as Nathan Mills has now hit his last 5 free throws.
Great.
And the Quaker advantage is 14 with 1:05 left to go. So Nathan Mills, who had been splitting free throws for the early part of this game, is hitting them down the stretch. Here is a shot by Braden Timberman, who's now into the game as both teams look to be, or Northview looks to be unloading their bench a little bit. Mills gets it to Daum. Daum is going to be fouled. That's going to be the 19th. Or no, they'll call a 10-second violation.
Yep.
And so a timeline violation called against Plainfield. Thought he was fouled from behind, but they said he did not get it into the front court in time. Turnover gives the ball back to Northview. 43.1 seconds remain, a 12-point lead for Plainfield.
You know, when Mr. Timberman hit that basket for Northview, their fans that they brought with them, parents, gave quite a cheer, so I'm sure that's a rare basket for him, but good to see the kid get one.
With a shot, Braden Tucker, but down underneath. As Alec Tanous, who was into the game for the first time, he gets a bucket. And now Coach Andy Weaver is going to call a timeout with 23.3 seconds. All he has are full timeouts remaining, so that's what they will take. We're going to keep it right here as the Quakers lead by 10 with 23.3 seconds remaining, but I'm sure Coach Weaver not real happy about some of the lapses maybe in these final couple of minutes.
Yeah, this, it hadn't certainly been a pretty game here tonight by either side, although we saw some individual players do a fine job, especially Nathan Mills, and then, as we said, we've liked their number 11, Quentin Hayes. But important win if they can just go ahead and finish the job here. This would be their first back-to-back wins of the season for Plainfield.
Yes, indeed. The Quakers would be winning for the first time back-to-back. And we take a look at the mid-state standings. They'll be playing Mooresville next week. The Quakers are 0-2 in mid-state conference action. Mooresville is 8-2 on the year, but they're 1-1 in mid-state conference play. So Martinsville currently at the top of the mid-state standings at 3-0, followed by Whiteland at 2-0, Franklin at 2-1 as Nathan Mills gets the basketball and he is fouled. Mooresville's at 1-1 in conference play. Decatur Central is 1-2, and that is who the Quakers will look at playing after the Mooresville game. They'll have games at Decatur Central, so back-to-back conference games after tonight against Mooresville and Decatur Central, and then Plainfield and Greenwood round out the mid-state standings. Nathan Mills misses the free throw. It's the 19 foul, so the 1-1 was still in effect. 17 seconds remaining. Quakers are going to win this game. They lead by 10 as Northview is a shot blocked by Nathan Mills on Braden Tucker. They'll send it out. 3-ball on the way. Shot no good. Mills with a rebound, and as he brings it down with 1.5 seconds remaining, we have a whistle and a foul as we'll head to the other end. It is the 10th team foul, and Nathan this time is going to shoot double bonus.
Brian, I'm sorry. I think Connor Brins got that rebound and was fouled, so he'll go to the line. Connor Brins with a good game tonight there. I think he had 8 points, Brian.
Connor Brins ended up with 9 points, and he could
make it 10.
Make it double digits. He would be the third Quaker, to finish scoring in double figures. 1.5 seconds remaining. Now it's just a matter of what the final score will be. Brins' first free throw is good, so he is in double figures.
Good free throw shooting here in the second half really helped the cause tonight for the Plainfield Quakers.
Jacob Lautenschlager is in. Also in for the Quakers, I believe, is Cameron Alexander. Second free throw is good.
Good job, Connor.
Gavin Ritter now in. So just about everybody now getting a chance to get at least one quarter listed. They'll inbound it, and this shot will count. If it goes, it doesn't, and that will do it. Final score, the Quakers defeat Northview by the score 52-40. Come back with some final thoughts and final stats right after this. This is Red Pride Basketball on ASO.
Whether you're looking to buy a new home or need to refinance an existing mortgage, J.P. Brenz and Caliper Home Loans can help you with all your mortgage financing needs, including conventional, FHA, VA, and USDA loans. Contact JP today at 550-2116. That's JP Brenz and Caliper Home Loans. We all have a guy, but who's your guy? Jeremiah P. Whip State Farm Agency in Plainfield next to Popeye's Chicken is a proud supporter of Plainfield basketball. Jeremiah specializes in life insurance and retirement maximization. Call 839-3322 or go to who'syourguy.net to contact Jeremiah today. That's Jeremiah P. Whip State Farm Agency in Plainfield. Prestwick Pet Sitters and owner Dawn Crawford is a proud sponsor of the Plainfield Quakers basketball team. Prestwick Pet Sitters has been in business for over 20 years, servicing Plainfield, Avon, and Danville, specializing in home pet care for all types of pets, from Angora rabbits to zebrafish and all the cats and dogs in between. Visit PrestwickPetSitters.com or call 745-9900 to learn more or schedule an appointment before your next trip. That's PrestwickPetSitters.com. We'd like to thank Raymond's Alignment Service in Plainfield for being a proud sponsor of Plainfield Quaker basketball. Raymond's Alignment Service is Plainfield's complete auto and truck repair center since 1995. You can visit them at 3828 Clarks Creek Road in Plainfield or give them a call at 317-838-7112. That's Raymond's Alignment Service in Plainfield. Does Wings Etc. have great wings? Sure, but wait, there's more. So much more than award-winning jumbo wings. Stop past our new location in Plainfield at 1818 East Main Street, just west of Kroger, and you'll get a great big taste of what the Etc. and Wings Etc. is all about. You can call 406-3250 to place your to-go order today. That's Wings Etc. at 1818 East Main Street in Plainfield.
Back at the Red Pride Gymnasium alongside Christopher Worley, I'm Brian Scott. Plainfield knocks off Northview by the score of 52-40. The Quakers got off to a quick start to begin the game. They trailed only for a brief period of time in that first quarter and then never looked back. They led 12-10 after the first quarter, 27-20 at the half, 39-33 after the third quarter, and they outscored Northview 13-7 in the fourth to win this ball game by the score of 52-40. At times, the Quakers, they had their typical problems in turning over the basketball, but they got some great performances tonight from Nathan Mills and Max Kurkowski, also Connor Brenz with a nice night, and they actually got some help all the way around. Quakers did a good job shooting the three. They managed to hit some shots. Sometimes they fell in love with it a little bit too much, but they still hit some nice threes, and they hold off the Knights tonight, especially there in that fourth quarter. Knights get a couple of baskets late in basically junk time. Otherwise, the Quaker defense did a very good job in that fourth quarter. It wasn't until the final minute or so, it was the Knights with only 3 points in that fourth quarter until a couple of late baskets allowed them to put 7 points on the board in the quarter. But the Quakers come away with a 52-40 win. And Chris, as you mentioned, back-to-back wins now for the Quakers, and they're going to head into a mid-state conference match next week against a very, very tough Mooresville team, but with a little bit of momentum behind them.
Yeah, back-to-back, very nice over Avon and, of course, 3A Northview here. You know, you expected kind of Plainfield to win this game, but this year a little bit of a struggle, so you're never for sure. But good execution, good workmanlike effort here. Did a good job on the boards. We're going to give Nathan Mills, of course, our first star of the game, and I'm going to give second star not to Max, even though he had a good game. We're going to go with Connor Brenz, the big guy, the sophomore, came in, did a good job on the boards tonight, and was able to score the ball and hit free throws.
Yeah, Connor Brenz with some big free throws there late as well. Leading all scorers tonight with 19 points was Nathan Mills. 11 points each from Connor Brenz and Max Kurkowski. 3 points each from Keegan Motter, Kyler Nichols, and Tyler West. 2 points from Reese Crawford, and then a whole host of Quakers got into the game but didn't score. Dawson Messer, Gavin Ritter, Anthony Bolin. We saw Mark Dahm, Jacob Lautenschlager late. Bryson Ellis got the start, but he did not score. And that was pretty much how Plainfield went. They were 13 of 18 from the free throw line tonight, did hit 4 3-point baskets. For the Knights, leading scorer with 10 points was Quentin Hayes, but he got all of those in the first half. He took a bit of a spill in that third quarter, and maybe wasn't quite as effective as he was the rest of the way. 9 points from Tristan Reese. 8 points from Dylan Hyatt, who was through right early part of the third quarter. He had picked up his third foul, but he stayed away from the fouls the rest of the way. It was then 4 points, for Braylon Compton, 3 points from Kalen Shane, 2 points from Hunter Reagan and Braden Timberman, also 2 points from Alec Tanous, and then Jensen Kellett, Seth Payton, Drew Lumsden, Cam Brown, Braden Tucker, and a couple of others also got in the game late that we didn't catch for Clint Weddle's Knights. The Knights only went to the free throw line 5 times tonight, though they hit all 5 shots. They also hit 5 3-pointers on the night. That was really the only thing that kept Northview in this contest. When you take a look at their baskets in the second half, they didn't make a whole lot of them. But when you take a look, they scored 7 baskets. 3 of them were from beyond the arc, and that was the only thing that kept them within maybe a modicum of striking distance. But in the end, the Quakers pull away and win this game by 12 at 52-40. For the Northview Knights, the loss drops them to 3-9 on the season. For the Quakers, the win improves their record to 4-8. Now they will head into Mid-State Conference action as they will be playing a pair of Mid-State Conference games this week next week. Again, they will have Mooresville, and then they will follow that up on the road January 30th at Decatur Central. They'll play a back-to-back next weekend, or on the 30th and the 31st, I should say, at Decatur Central and at Terre Haute South before returning to the Red Pride Gymnasium on February 6th. Our next broadcast of Red Pride Basketball and Audio Sports Online will be next Friday night as the Mooresville Pioneers come to the Red Pride Gymnasium. Christopher Worley will be joining me. We'll have the pregame show at 7:20. The tip-off between the Quakers and the Pioneers is set. That is a boys-girls doubleheader. So the pregame for that game will be 7:50. The tip-off between the Quakers and the Knights, the Quakers and the Pioneers will be at 8 o'clock. Again, that is a boys-girls doubleheader next Friday night here at the Red Pride Gymnasium as the Quakers and the Mooresville Pioneers. And, Chris, that should be a pretty good matchup, especially get here early for that girls game because that should be a good one.
Yeah, of course, Plainfield girls having a good season, good success so far. So those doubleheaders are a lot of fun. That's a big game for the girls, to go first right on this court before the guys. So we do also want to thank, of course, the fine athletic director here, Tori Rodkey, for joining us halftime, giving us some of his time and providing some good insight on Plainfield Quakers sports program here.
All right, so once again, your final score, the Quakers defeat Northview by the score of 52-40. Alongside for Christopher Worley and myself, Brian Scott, thanks for joining us tonight. We'll see you next Friday as the Quakers take on the Pioneers. Until next time, so long, everybody.
Thanks for tuning in to Plainfield Quakers basketball on AudioSportsOnline.com. Tonight's game has been brought to you by Wings Etc., Presswick Pet Sitters, State Farm Agent Jeremiah P. Whip, Raymond's Alignment Service, and J.D. Brenz and Caliber Home Loans. Don't forget, you can catch a free on-demand replay of tonight's game by visiting www.audiosportsonline.com. Red Pride Basketball is an AudioSportsOnline.com production.